And then you can double click on this Visual Code installer file, and here you are going to be presented with this license agreement. So you can click I accept the agreement, and you can read these terms and conditions if you want. I usually don't. I'm sorry, guys. I probably should now that I'm filming it, but it's just, no, it's too long. No. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Welcome to the first video of HTML and CSS for beginners. In this course, I want to teach you how you can build your own website or a website for someone else. And if you're interested in this topic, make sure to subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon as well, because I am going to publish more videos on this topic. And also follow me on my other social media platforms. The link is going to be in the description of this video. And the first thing that I want to show you in this video is going to be the tool that we are going to be using in order to write our HTML and CSS code. So that tool can really be as simple as Notepad, so any text editor really. So you can use Notepad or Notepad++, okay? But the one that we are going to be using is called Visual Studio Code. So I'm going to show you how you can download that. So you type Visual Studio Code, and then this code.visualstudio.com is going to be your link. So you click here, okay, and now you really want to click on this download button. And here you are going to be presented with the different versions of your Visual Studio Code, depending on the operating system that you use. For me, it is going to be Windows, so you click on this Windows downloader, and soon your download should start, depending on your internet connection. For me, it is a bit slower. Okay, and as you can see, my download has started, but I am going to really cancel it since I have already downloaded this Visual Studio Code version for Windows, and I have it here on my desktop. Okay. And it is really a simple next finish installation. So when you double click on that, you are going to be presented with this license agreement, so terms and conditions. So you can click on this I accept the agreement, and then you can click next. And here you are going to be presented with this where should Visual Studio Code be installed. I usually leave this as it is already, so by default. I'm going to click next as well. Okay, and then it is asking for the program's shortcut. I also click next there. So you can really leave these as they already are, so defaults. And then you can click install, and this can take a couple of seconds, for me at least. Okay, and now this installation has been finished, and it says that it wants to launch Visual Studio Code. So I'm going to click finish, and as you can see, this Visual Studio Code has been really launched by default. And the first thing that I want to do is going to be to change this dark theme into a light one. You can skip this step, but if you want to change the theme, you can use this file and then preferences, and here you can select color theme. And the one that I like is going to be this light Visual Studio theme. So when you click on that, we're presented with this beautiful light theme. Okay, so here I'm going to select new file since we want to create a new web page. You can click on this new file, and as you can see, we are presented with this untitled empty file. And I want to really zoom this in so that it is a bit more readable to you, like this. Okay, and now I'm going to save this file, and then we are going to try to run it in our web browser just to see how this is really presented in our web browser. So how you can save this file, you can click on File, and then here you have options to save and save as, or you can use Control S or Control Shift S. So you can say Control S, and I'm going to save this document on my desktop, and I'm going to name it, let's say, my first web page. And the extension that we need to use in order to say that this is HTML document, so in order to tell to our computer that this should be opened via web browser, that extension is going to be .html or just .htm, whichever one you prefer. I'm going to use this .html extension, like this, okay? And now I'm going to click Save, and as you can see, this file here is on this location, so this is the path to our My First Web Page.html file. So it is on disk C, users folder, then my user, and then on desktop, and then My First Web Page is the name of our file, and that file is this one here. So in my case, it has been recognized by default to be opened by Google Chrome. If that is not your case, you can right click on it and then you can click Open With, and here you can select your preferred browser. For me, it is Google Chrome, not sponsored. So here I have opened this file in Google Chrome, and as you can see, this is the path to our file, and then here is My First Web Page.html, which is really the name of our file. And this file is empty, so this web page is empty for now, but we are going to add elements to our HTML document, and then we are going to check how that is going to be shown in our browser. The first thing that I want to explain is what is HTML. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, meaning that it is a standard language to create HTML documents or web pages. And HTML is really used in order to create the structure of a web page, which means that it is used to describe what elements are going to show up on your page. And the example of those elements are a paragraph of text, a heading, an image, a link, etc. And we are going to see a lot more elements later in this course, and in this video as well we are going to see some. And then that HTML document is taken by your web browser, and those tags are interpreted, and then web browser really based on those tags decides which elements it needs to show to your user. Okay, so here I want to show you the basic structure of an HTML document, so I'm going to copy that. Okay, this here is the basic structure of an HTML document. And this line of code here, so this doc type HTML, really tells to your computer that this is an HTML5 document. And then here you have a root tag. So I'm going to collapse it. And here you have this HTML tag. And this tag consists of this start tag and then this end tag. And whatever content this tag has, you are going to put that content between these two. So between this start tag and this end tag. And this is the root tag of your HTML page. The content of this tag are two sections, so two other tags, and that is head tag and then body tag. So what is this head section? What is this body section? Well, here in this head tag, you put data about your page, meaning metadata. And the examples of this are going to be, for example, title of your page, some data about your author, and then later when we learn more about CSS, we are going to see how you can really style your body section, so how you can style your HTML page by linking your CSS inside this head section. But for now, we are going to keep it simple. Okay, so that is this head tag. You can collapse it as well. And then inside this body section, you put all the elements that you want to show to your user. So the elements that I previously mentioned, such as paragraph of text, a link to another site, an image, a heading, etc. Okay, so these two are two tags that you put inside your HTML tag, and this HTML tag is the root tag of your HTML page. Okay, so I'm going to save this here now, and if I try to run it in my web browser, so I have already this web browser opened, you can just refresh it if you have previously saved your HTML document, which we did. So if I make some change, you can see that this black dot appears, and then you can click Control S in order to save it, and then you can come back to this document here and you can really refresh it, and as you can see, nothing has changed. So we have put only this basic structure. Where is it? So we have put only this basic structure of our HTML document. And now we want to put elements. So we want to put other tags in order to be interpreted by our web browser and then shown to our user. Okay, the first element, the first tag that I want to show you is going to be a very simple one. And let's say that, for example, that is going to be title tag. So I'm going to write here in this head section. So since that is something that we put in this head section, that title tag, I'm going to write here title. Okay, and then I'm going to close that tag, and Visual Studio Code does that for me. If you use, for example, Notepad, it wouldn't do that for you. So it wouldn't write this close tag itself. So you should probably either use something like Visual Studio Code, or you are going to have to really write these close tags on your own. So this here is going to be the title of our web page, and I'm going to show you what is that title. So how is it shown? Let me just write this title. So let's say that it is going to be my first web page, like this, and I'm going to save it. And now if I come to this browser window, so where we really test our code, test our web page, and I refresh it, make sure to watch at this part here. So I'm going to refresh it, and as you can see, my first web page has appeared here. Okay, so that is what our title tag has done. So this tab now is named my first web page. Okay, so that really is this title tag, and that goes inside this head section. And then inside this body section, we are going to put some other element. And let's say, for example, that I want to add a heading to my web page. I'm going to minimize this, and I'm going to put it here like this. Okay, and let's say that we want to add heading to my web page. So I'm going to use a tag that is usually used for that, and that is going to be h1 tag, meaning heading 1. And here I'm going to write, let's say, this is first heading, like this. Oh, first. Okay, and these h tags, there's really 6 of these. If I save this and then I refresh my page, you can see that this is first heading has appeared on my page. And as I already said, there is 6 of these, so you can use really h1, h2, h3, 4, 5, and 6 in order to put different levels of a heading to your web page. So you can copy this and paste it multiple times like this, and then we are going to change this to be h2, and then h3, h4, h5, and then h6, just to see how that is going to be shown in our web page. And I have to change these end tags as well. So this is opened as h2, and it has to be closed as h2 as well. So h3, h4, h5, and then h6. Okay, and then if I save this and now I try to refresh, let me just try to position both of these in a single window, and then I'm going to position this, okay, here. And now we are going to be able to really look at both of these at the same time. So now if I refresh this window here, you can see that we have 6 different levels of this heading. And this is the biggest one and the most important one, and then this is less important than this one, and then this one is the least important. Okay, so for now I'm going to leave only this H1 heading, but I just wanted to show you that there are also more options. Okay, so I'm going to delete that and then save it, and here I'm going to refresh this page of ours, and as you can see, we are left with this is first heading. And let's say that now we want to add a paragraph of text. Okay, and for that I'm going to use something called lorem ipsum. So it is this page here, okay? And here you really have some dummy text that you can use for these purposes. So I'm going to copy this, going to copy this paragraph of text here, okay? And let's say that I want to paste that text here inside my own paragraph. And the tag that we use in order to put a paragraph of text in our HTML document, so in our web page, is going to be p tag, like this. And as well, we have this open, so this start tag and then this end tag. And in between these two, we put the content of this element. So here I'm going to paste this text, and as you can see, it has been pasted all in a single line. We are going to correct that. But first I want to save it and see how my web browser is going to really show this here, since in our editor it is all in a single line, okay? And now if I refresh this here, as you can see, it is not in a single line, but it has been really shown in 4 lines. So what if I try to add empty spaces here or new lines? So let's find appropriate places to add new lines. Let's say that it is going to be here, okay? And then let's say that we can put new line here as well, and then also here, okay? So now if I save this, these new lines should start with these words, so with these sentences, if our browser is to show it this way that we have written it here. Okay, so I'm going to refresh it, and as you can see, it has not really changed in our web browser. But why has that happened? It has happened because it really does not matter how many empty spaces or new lines you put here. So in this document here, your browser is still going to really render this the same. And if you need to put a new line, you are going to use tag for that. And the tag that is used in order to break line, in order to put a new line, is going to be BR tag. So here I'm going to put BR like this, okay? And then this tag is used in order to put a new line to your web page. So if I save this document now, I'm going to save it and then I'm going to try to refresh it. As you can see, now my first line in my web browser is only this text here. So it really contains only this sentence until it comes to this BR tag, okay? And as you can notice, this BR tag really is different than these other tags. So it is different than this P tag and then body and head and title as well, because this tag really does not contain a start tag and an end tag, but it is just BR tag, okay? And that is because this tag does not contain any content. So it is just used in order to break line, in order to put a new line. So whatever you put after this BR tag is going to be placed in a new line, and that is this sentence here. So let's add another BR tag here. Okay, so I'm going to paste another BR tag here and then here as well. And if I save it now and I try to refresh it, you can see that my text now has really been broken in a couple of sentences. So here we have put one BR tag, and then here we have put another, and here the third one. And then this rest of the text has been really responsively shown, meaning that it is really going to adapt to the size of your web browser window. Okay, but at the end we have these 3 BRs that we have put in our HTML document. Okay, so I'm going to put it again here. Okay, and that is going to be the example of a P tag. And I'm going to finish this video here, and then in my next video I'm going to show you really how you can style this web page or any other web page. So I'm going to talk more about CSS, so that we are really learning about HTML and CSS together, because they are usually used together. So not independently, but CSS and HTML are used combined in order to really have a complete web page that has all the elements that you want to have on it and that looks nice as well. So for now, I hope that you have understood what is HTML, how is it used, and also this basic structure of your HTML document. So this head and body sections, and then we have learned how we can put a title and then how we can put this paragraph of text to our web page. And in my next video, we are going to talk more about CSS. So make sure to watch that video and also subscribe to my channel so that you are notified when I publish that video. And thanks for watching. I'm going to see you in my next video. Bye.